What you doing, other nerds? I'm DAC. I'm going to talk about The 100, Season 7, Episode 9, The Flock. The Flock, referring to the people that follow the Shepherd and Bardo, but also to just any group that follows anything blindly. That's what I'm thinking of, at least. That being the worshippers of the Prime, worshippers of whatever Commander. Pretty much that's where the name is going to, and it fits very well with this episode. But first, let's go through what happened. So, where do I want to start? There's what's going on in Sanctum, and then what happened in Bardo right before Clark gets there, I guess. Let's start with Bardo. So, go back 3 months earlier, apparently, from when Clark showed up. It shows Echo, Octavia, Dioza, and Hope is being shown finally what the surface looks like, and it looks like some alien world where crystallized people, and then there's some kind of something that will crystallize them from inside out. It looks real scary. Still not completely convinced it's an alien planet. What they saw might be real. I think it's still just a trick. Just overall, I think all the crap that they're telling them is just to convince them that there is still something out there that they need to fight for. I think it's just a way to control them. And that's kind of what showing them does. Because now they're like, look, we need you to fight. But it also leads them to their minds kind of being messed with, because they need them to not care about things other than the cause. So putting them through a lot of tests and stuff, and training, but they're already pretty much better fighters than everyone else there anyways. But Echo seems to be all aboard on it. Dioza and Octavia seem to just be going with whatever. Hope is the only one who seems to really be rebelling against this. And it is weird. But what I'm thinking is, I don't think the other three are actually going along with it. I think they're just smart enough to realize they need to play along, which Hope doesn't get. And I don't think they're cluing her in on this one, because to them, she is still a child. Even though, at this point the age difference isn't that much. And it kind of is. But she's still a kid. She still has this childish mentality. And if they can mess with her brains, if they can't really tell her, hey, look, we're doing this. Because if they tell her, they'll realize it. So I think they're keeping Hope out of the loop, because she's not at that fully developed, even though she's an adult, maturity yet. But she's rebelling. And they're kind of letting her do it while the rest are playing along. I don't think they're bought into it. They're smart. They've been through a lot of stuff. They're not just going to be like, yeah, okay, we're in it. And yeah, they can mess with their minds and stuff, but we've already seen all the stuff they went through. Octavia and Dioza especially, we've seen what they were doing to keep from their minds being messed with. And especially, I forgot his name again, the other scientist dude that's been helping Octavia. He's probably been cluing them in on what was going to happen to him. They can probably be ready for it. So they see more of Bardo. They see that they're growing babies, which one are ugly things. I think babies kind of look weird anyways. These things are ugly. Pretty much test tube babies. Then classes where they pretty much brainwashing kids. And it's just, pretty much what's already been happening. Echo makes a remark like they have it better than she did, and it's like, yeah, but it's still pretty much the same thing. This is just less brutal way of doing it. Still exact same thing happening. And then eventually they are all put through a simulation where they have to kill Hope. And so for Hope has to kill Dioza. Hope doesn't do it, of course, even though it's a simulation. Like I said, I think Octavia was clued in this was going to happen. So they probably knew what was going to happen, what was happening. Maybe not. Who knows? But, yeah, and then since Echo is the star student, they let her decide what happens to Hope, which she just is getting sent back to Skyrim for like 5 years. That's pretty much it. It wasn't too exciting. I don't know if it's because of my way of things, like, oh, this is just on act, whatever, they're going to overcome this. Hope's just still a kid, blah, 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 blah. So that happens. She's going to get sent to Skyrim. I don't know, maybe that's where Bellamy went. He wasn't on Nakara, I guess. I don't know. They're going to have to show something. But they didn't show anything else about Clark. But yeah, I don't think there's an actual enemy. If there is, I don't know. I don't think there is. I think it's just a made-up thing to scare people into being in control. I don't know what is going to happen once they actually are supposed to fight something. I think what's going to happen is this is going to be a lot, and then they're going to use what Shadeheda and what he's doing to justify that being an enemy. It's weird. I still think they're on Earth. I think Earth has just changed over the centuries they've been gone. It makes no sense why they would go to another planet just to try to take it over when it's not even, like, survivable. Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. They could have just stayed on Earth and made that more survivable. I think they're back on Earth. I think something happened. A bunch of theories. But let's talk about what's happening in Sanctum. So, last we saw, there was a bunch of people being held captive by the prisoners and children of Gabriel. About 30 people, they say, including Amori and Maddie. And they demand for Murphy, Russell, and Raven. Of course, Raven's gone, and they don't know that. They don't know where she is. But for them to come in 20 minutes, they're going to start killing people. Starting with Amori. Blah, blah, blah. Really, not much happens. Russell, or Shadeheda, eventually makes a deal with Indra, which, you know, it seems something that shouldn't happen, but whatever. And then he reveals the plan. There's a tunnel to get back into that room. They go. Murphy and Maury, and Shadeheda reveals the truth about who they are. Some still don't believe him. Some are still faithful. Most of them, though, turn on him. And Indra's team is easily able to sneak in and de-escalate everything really quickly and easily. Then Indra, what I think is the stupidest thing she could have done. It seems like a smart thing, but there was a flaw. She leaves Shadeheda in with all the old Prime followers. I knew, of course, they're not going to kill him. Shadeheda is pretty much a monster. I knew he was going to kill all of them. Maybe not the ones who was still following him, like that one chick, but yeah, he did it. Indra's mistake was leaving him alone after that. Keep an eye on it. She knew what was going on. She thought either he was going to kill. She knew the outcome. I don't know why she would just leave it like that. And then Murphy kind of lets it slip at Shadeheda. And once they open the doors and he's the only one standing, a few of them take a knee. So, big mistake on Indra's part. Now, one crew has a commander again to follow. It's a big mistake. So I guess one crew's going to be the new enemy again. It's weird. But yeah, it wasn't a bad episode. It was nice to see some of this other stuff that's been happening in Bardo. It's finally nice to see Shadeheda making a move. There's still a lot of things they aren't answering yet. Maybe we'll see more of that later. But one last thing is, the 100's going on a break for a couple weeks. It'll be back on August 5th. So we're going to have to wait for the 10th episode and on. But I don't know. Let me know what you think of it so far, and while we wait. But if you like what I have to say, go ahead and like the video. You want to see me talk more about the 100 and other stuff, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can see when I do all that. But until next time, I'm DAC. Thank you for watching, and bye.